Looking for love in all the wrong places? Well, we're here today with Jennifer Styers. She's a love coach, and she's going to tell us how to get started in finding love. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you.
So, how does one go about finding a life mate, someone that they can love for forever?
Well, it always starts with ourselves. If we are going to go into a life relationship, we have to be whole first, just as our partner does. So the most important thing is to know who we are. Getting into a relationship, it will never work if we're not aware of who we're coming in as. And if we don't love ourselves, nobody else can love us.
Oh, I've heard that a million times, and I couldn't agree with it more. So finding yourself is the first step. How does one go about finding oneself?
Well, I think there's lots of processes for doing that. I think first and foremost, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be willing to look at who we are. Everybody has aspects of themselves that are positive or they perceive negative. But I think first and foremost, people need to understand that not everything about them is going to be wonderful. They need to know their strong points. They need to know their challenges, but they need to love all those. Right?
I love that, because so many people do. They pick out the negative and don't focus on the positive, but we all have, but that's what makes us people, right?
Absolutely.
Human.
There's many processes we can go through. The very first one is the words I know you've heard a million times, the I am.
Ooh.
And that's just a great place to start. And that's usually where I have all my clients start is, who are you? And state that in a positive sense.
Okay.
So, you know, it just needs to be a list of adjectives. But we need to define ourselves when we do that. Like, I am love, I am kindness, I am compassionate. We need to make sure that those are words that describe our soul versus how society describes us or our friends would describe us.
Or how we would want to describe us.
Or our role in society. Like, people want to go, oh, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. Who are you as a person, as an individual? What makes you you?
A lot of people, I think, stop themselves from finding love because they're constantly saying what they deserve. What do you say when people bring up the word deserve?
Well, it's funny because I think that the thing that stops people in the deserve category from finding love is not feeling like they deserve love. So it's a worthiness factor. So I think that there's two ways in which we could look at I deserve. The I deserve, like you spoke of, where it's the ego speaking and it's an expectation. Like, I deserve this as an entitlement. But there is the element of I deserve from a worthiness standpoint. Like, I am a child of God. I deserve love. I deserve kindness. We deserve to get back what we give. At least I say that a lot, and I feel that.
I totally agree with that. I always say whatever you put out in the universe, it's going to come back at you. So
yeah,
you
whatever
want it to
you
come
don't,
back.
Whatever you're not receiving is something you're not giving. So yeah,
never thought of it that way, but that's a good way to look at it too. And when you say expectations, is it okay to have expectations?
No.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely not, because expectation is one of those things that it's something that we are holding somebody else to a standard. An expectation is trying to make somebody be who they're not, who we want them to be. And an intention is good for ourselves when we're setting intentions, not expectations for ourselves, but intentions. So at least it's putting something out there for us. But an expectation in a relationship only sets somebody up for failure.
For failure, really,
And for you to say, I am, you've got to come into a relationship with somebody else and they have their I am list. It's not I am, you are. It's I am, you am.
Okay.
It's not really you am, but you know what I'm saying. It's being able to see each other that way, from that standpoint, versus I am this and I need you to be that for me. Because that's what an expectation is.
That is an expectation, is needing something from someone.
And that can be simple. That can be as simple as somebody saying, well, I needed you to hug me at that point. I needed you to tell me this when I said this to you.
And how would someone know those things? Expectations are, that's right.
That's it. You're holding somebody to a standard, something that they're going to read your mind.
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
And then you're going to be disappointed and say, that person's not for me.
Would you say that it's okay then if you come home and you've had a bad day to communicate with someone, I really need a hug right now.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we should do. I think that that is where people tend to go wrong, especially women. Men want to please women. And women, we want a man to read our mind. So what happens is, because men are so direct, if women can learn to be a little bit more direct and tell a man what she needs, or to tell him, a lot of times it's great in a communication to be able to say, you don't have to fix this. I had a bad day. I just want to talk about it. If you can just let me have 5 minutes, you don't have to fix anything. All I want to do is vent, all I want to do is vent and get it out, and then we can leave it behind and have a glass of wine and do whatever we're going to do.
I love that.
But it's just creating that space for it and telling him that he doesn't have to do anything about it.
That communication, definitely. And if you would like to be inspired, well, then check out Jennifer's Facebook page. It's Jennifer Styers, the Love Coach. And if you'd like more information about her coaching, check her out on the web at www.jenniferstyers.com. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this.
Thank you for having me.
Positive life.